Hello, third graders, and welcome to your writing assignment. So I'm going to walk you through step by step on how to complete the Jitter Writing assignment in Google Drive. Here, you will see your assignment underneath all of your videos and instructions that I posted on the same page. I'm going to click on this assignment. When you click on this assignment, you're going to see something like this, except the video that I am now recording is going to be right here. After you watch this video, you're going to go to My Document right here. And it's the same for any other Google Drive or Google Doc assignment I will assign you this year. You go to My Document. It will take you to your own document. So I'm going to go ahead and click that button. And it's making a copy for you. So it takes a little while. And there is your assignment. Now, I gave you a few videos following the instructions for this assignment that explain to you how to use your Chromebook. There was a Chrome video in there on how to use your buttons and what your buttons mean on your Chromebook at the top. And you do have a zoom button. So if you're finding that this screen is too small for you, you can use that zoom button. I'm going to show you another way you can also make this document a little bit bigger if it's hard to see. I'm going to go ahead and use my highlighting tool here, and I'm going to take you to this button that says View. I'm going to zoom in. It says View. You're going to click View and scroll down until you see Zoom. Once you see Zoom, you're going to scroll over, move your cursor over, and you see 50%, 100%, 200%. You do not ever want 50%. That's going to make it smaller than it already is. I typically like mine at 100%. 200%, it's a little too big for me, but it's all up to you how you like your screen. Or you can use the Zoom In tab right here. I'm going to use that. But first, before I use that, I'm going to zoom out again. And I'm going to hit this, and you're going to see what it does. It zooms in. So now, what seemed small before is now pretty big. So now I'm going to get out of my highlighter, and I'm going to read the instructions for you. First, you are going to select one or two emojis to express how you felt before school, during morning meeting, and now. Drag and drop your emojis in the blue boxes. Next, you are going to write at least 2 sentences explaining how you felt and why. Remember to check your cups. So also in the resources I gave you, there is a cups editing sheet that explains what CUPS means, which this is something you should have seen in 2nd grade. C stands for capitalization. U stands for understanding. Your sentence must be understood. P stands for punctuation. Must have the correct punctuation. And S stands for spelling. And I also said in your materials list to use that dictionary that I gave you to help you with your spelling and to find some juicy, interesting words to use in this assignment. Also, in the resources I provided you for this assignment, I gave you a video on how to do this step right here, which is drag and drop, okay? Make sure you watch that video so you know how to drag and drop the emojis properly if you're having trouble with that. That walks you through the steps on how to drag an object in slides over to where you want it. Now let's continue. I'm going to model for you how to drag and drop. I'm also going to model for you my expectations when it comes to the sentences. So I am going to pick an emoji for before. How did I feel before I met you? Let's see. I'm going to choose this emoji. And to me, this emoji, oops, where did it go? See, sometimes when you drag and drop, it goes somewhere else. So you just have to find it again. And remember, if you, oops, I moved that box. Didn't want to move that box. Sometimes that happens. I just moved my text box that I had there for my writing. I'm just going to move that down. And that might happen. So I'm glad that you can learn from that mistake right there. I'm going to actually zoom out to 100% because I told you I don't really like to be too close, but I think 100% is about perfect. I'm going to finish dragging my emoji here. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. I think it could be a little bit bigger, but that's a preference. You don't have to do this part. And before I met all of you all, I was feeling pretty good. Before school, I felt good. Now, why did I feel good? Well, I felt good because I worked all summer prepping and preparing to meet you. I'm going to continue because you can, if you want to continue writing, you don't have to stick to just 2 sentences. So to meet the requirements, I could stop. I could stop right now because I have 2 sentences, 2 periods. Before school, I felt good. And I made this easy for you because I gave you a starter sentence. So the first sentence shouldn't be too difficult. I gave you a starter, and you have to come up with the second sentence on your own. But if you want to be over the top and a little extra, go ahead, because you can write as much as you like. So if I wanted to expand this further, I can say, I'm going to go back and reread what I wrote, because that's a good strategy in the middle of writing, is to go back and read what you wrote so you can make sure that it sounds like how you speak, how you would say it. Before school, I felt good. I felt, I missed something. You see, that's why you have to go back and check what you typed out and make sure it's the way you want to sound, the way you want it to sound. That's called editing. So you can see I missed a word. Now I'm going to start over again. Before school, I felt good. I felt good because I worked all summer prepping and preparing to meet you. I can continue and say, when school started, I was ready and had a really good feeling about this year. So I'm going to go back and reread what I wrote to make sure it's exactly how I want, because if it's not, I have to edit it and fix it. And I'm checking my cups. Before school, I felt good, period. Perfect. I felt good because I worked all summer prepping and preparing to meet you, period. Ooh, notice that I have an uppercase letter here because it's the start of a sentence. Remember that. That shift button is your best friend when it comes to uppercase letters. When school started, I was ready and had a good feeling about this year. I'm going to add an extra detail there and say, about this school year. Or I can say, about 3rd grade. I'm really excited to teach 3rd grade. Now, that is just an example. Like I said, your expectation is only 2 sentences, but feel free to go beyond that. I will never ever tell you that you're writing too much. Now, I'm going to go through the same steps to complete how I felt during morning meeting, which I can't wait for because I'm recording this before morning meeting, but I met you on Friday, and I can tell you right now that I am just feeling this emoji right now after meeting all of you, not this one. Nope. See, that will happen. You got to watch those text boxes. I'm going to make sure that I'm clicking on. I think that went behind. So you kind of got to like play with it. That might happen. So be careful. I feel like this emoji. And I'm going to make sure I drag it up in the blue box this time. Every time I go where my writing is, it seems like I move my text boxes and it gets stuck. I feel like this. After meeting you Friday, I am totally infatuated and in love with my 3rd grade class already. You have already made that big of an impression on me. So I can't wait for the rest of the school year. Remember, message me if you have any questions on completing this. Another tip, when you're working in a Google document like this, you don't say that you have to go somewhere, or say you ran out of time and it's time for our next class. You don't have to feel like you have to rush through this. You can stop where you're at. Just the only thing you have to make sure you don't do is submit the assignment. You only do that when you are finished. So if you need a little bit more time, all you have to do is just stop where you're at and go back. Say you can go back to courses. Say you need to go back to homeroom. If you go back to courses, I'm going to show you, go back to homeroom and say that we are meeting for a live meet and you don't want to be late. So you're like, oh, I have to finish that later. You can go back and hit our live button. We can do our live meeting. And now you're ready to finish your assignment. So you're going to go back to your reading assignment because that's where it's at on week 2 on Monday. And there it is. I'm going to click it. And if you click my document, I want you to notice something. All my work's still there. It didn't go away. It didn't disappear. It automatically saved it for me. So as long as you don't press submit, you can just wait to submit this. So you don't have to rush through it. Say you want to do part of it today, and part of it tomorrow, or part of it in the morning, and part of it in the evening. Or you don't want to submit it until you have a parent proofread it, which is a great idea. You can just rest assured it will be there. So all the hard work you did will automatically save, okay? And then you can just get right back to work. Remember, if you have any questions, just send me a message. Have fun, and I can't wait to see what you wrote. I bet it's going to be amazing.